right, aloha. So today we are going to learn about the Caribbean influence in modern music, as you can see here on the title of my presentation. Um, First off, we're gonna start out of our presentation today with the outline of what we're gonna discuss in this presentation. Um, we're gonna first of all discuss the Caribbean music or touch a little bit about the history of the Caribbean music. Then we're gonna discuss about the instrument on what instrument they use in their music, and then of course the musical style, and then the Caribbean music influential on the modern worlds today or on other cultures, which we're gonna show on the music or slash video. So let's go ahead and start on this presentation since it's gonna take a while to discuss and we have a short time. So to or to start off this presentation, let's talk about a little bit about the Caribbean music. As we know, the Caribbean islands have a rich and diverse history. The music and the festivals of Caribbean are rich and cultural too. There are several different styles of music that originated on these islands, which includes the Puerto Rico and Anguillarando and the Jamaican mento and even the salsa and reggae. The Caribbean music have influenced the European and American music to a great extent, as we can see in these days, where they adapt um, Caribbean music into their own style, into the European music. Um, to go ahead and then start on this, we want to take a look at some of the influential the African music influence that include in the Caribbean music, which is the syncopations or the off-speed accent and the cross rhythm. In in this also in this Caribbean music also they use percussion through the African musical influence and call and respond and also singing styles. Also, in the Caribbean music, they adapt the European musical influence, which is including tonal or the bass in a key, and harmonies and melodies, and also the instrument, which is including the guitar. So there are a couple of things that the Caribbean music or the Caribbean people also adapted into their culture to perform this kind of music style that they have. So let's move on. So what are instruments that they use? Of course, in the Caribbean, there are similarity in type of instrument that used across the Caribbean islands. The most popular instrument are percussions and drums, and there are also different types of guitar and homemade instrument. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at the percussion instrument, which is include the graves or the two piece of wood. The second one is the maracas or the handheld shakers. Then the third one is the capacitor or the loops of steel poles wrapped around the cylinder and held. And then the fourth one is the regoreko or the cuero, which is known as a scrapers. And then the fifth one is the triangle or the double-headed bells. Um, and and these types of instruments are often known as Latin percussions. If you take a look at the other instrument, the guitar is found in a number of sizes, which is including SO, which is including the quintaron or a large four-string bass guitar, the tres or a small guitar with the three set of double strings, and the quattro, a small guitar with four strings. And of course, if we know of the or if we have heard some of the music or watched the video of in the in the Caribbean style of music, and we actually see a lot of these things. This different kind of instrument where they use a big guitar and also small guitar. Okay, if we let's take a look now, we're gonna take a look at musical style in different part of the Caribbeans. So first off, let's take a look at the musical style in Cuba. Cuba, as you can see here, the style that they use is a salsa, or it's known as a lifestyle of dance music in Africans and Spanish influence that originated in Cuba. In this style, it has the grave or the rhythm, usually played by graves, which provide the rhythm foundation. Um, Also, several one or two bar pattern each played by a different instrument, and they usually use a Latin percussion. For example, the bongos, congas, and timbales. They also use pianos more often. Often, um, some of the things that they also included in the salsa is the simple melodies followed by the color and the lyrics of love and everyday of life. Okay, let's take a look now at the musical style in Trinidad and Tobago. Okay, so in in these places there are a few style of music that they originated created in these places like the calypso, or which is originally the nation dance of Trinidad and Tobago, and calypso is particularly associated with the carnival, or or it contains the 4/4 time with the syncopation and the acoustic and bass guitar, or the band with trumpet, saxophone, electric guitar, drum kit, and Latin percussions also. If we take a look at the other one, they also use the steel band or pan music. I think this is one of the most the common type of music that used in this area, where the steel band music originated in this area during the 1940s. And of course, steel band often play calypso tunes, but also play folk and classical music. The steel bands are characterized by the instrument, or known as the pan, which were originally made out of oil drums. The lead instrument, known as the tenors or the ping pongs, and and different size of band included the alto, guitar, cello, and bass. Okay, if you move on to the next one, which is soga, which means soul calypso, and it's an energetic disco influence offshoot of salsa. And soca is categorized by the use of horns and Latin percussion with loud, fast percussion beats. We don't want to spend a lot of time discussing these style, but of course, this presentation we're going to talk about how these musical style influence the modern world. But let's just take a look at a little bit of history of everything. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the musical style in Jamaica. I think this is one of the top influential type of musical style which came from Jamaica, because it's used a lot in modern days music, and it influenced a lot of people. Um, the first of all, the mento. Or the mento is a form of Jamaican folk music similar to calypso. It was most popular in the 1950s, and some characteristic of it is the guitar or the banjo and drums, the strophic or verse repeating form. If we take a look at the other one, which is the ska is the fast dance music that emerged in the late 1950s and fuses American rhythm and blues R&B with mental rhythm, characterized under the ska. If you go ahead and look at the reggae, or which is we know as a much famous in these days, is reggae is a much more slower form of music than ska, which emerged in the 1960s. and some of the character of